cat, baby, I'm a boss. Carolina barbecue sauce with the slaw. I'm the safe, the cellar, and the vault. I'm the best, the effect, and the cause. I'm the law. It's the North Cat, baby, I'm a boss. Carolina barbecue sauce with the slaw. I'm the safe, the cellar, and the vault. I'm the best, the effect, and the cause. I'm the law.
What's going on, guys? We're back for the next episode, A Secret Sauce to Be the Boss. And today we're out here with Miss Serbrena Young. Thank you for having us.
Thank you for considering us to be a part of your show.
Absolutely. We're at Forever Young Care Services. If you want to call it a short name, call it Fix. We're in Gastonia, North Carolina, not too far from the heart of the city. So we're going to take a look around the offices, and then we're going to sit down and get to the heart of this interview. Let's check it out, guys. And let's go in.
Thank you, sir.
Absolutely. So this is the front lobby where people will come in.
Correct. This is our intake lounge.
Okay. Sit down and wait to be called in. Employee of the month. All right.
Yeah. She's an exceptional employee.
All right. So you cater towards the elderly and the sick?
Actually, no. I cater to anyone who needs our services that are Medicaid recipient.
Okay.
Yeah, so anyone who actually have disabilities that need in-home care services, and we specify that because we only do in-home services.
Okay.
Where we would do like meal preparations, like house cleaning, and personal hygiene, assisting with bathing and things of that nature.
Gotcha. All right, so let's walk back through here. All right, so we've seen the offices. I think it's about time we start with this interview. So let's get down to some of the nitty-gritty and some of the questions that I like to ask you today.
Okay.
How long have you had this company?
Since 2010, so going on, actually it was 10 years, 9 years, 2000, March 23rd.
March 23rd was your 9-year anniversary. For you to be in business for 9 years, you have to be pretty successful. Most people that open a business, it fails within the first few years. If you've made it 9 years, you're doing pretty good.
Thankfully, yeah.
Yeah?
We're doing pretty good.
What was it like when you first started out and you had this idea to open this business? What all went into it?
A lot of perseverance, for one.
I know that's right.
I don't know. I think it was so much so... I was always taught that, I wasn't created with fear. However, when you actually have an unknown feeling that is not that of confidence, I didn't know what else to describe it but as fear. Yeah. So I think that was more so a driving point for me. I think it catapulted me to actually overcome it. So I wanted to succeed in what I thought I couldn't do.
Yeah.
So I think, I don't know if that's an ironic statement, but I think that fear actually pushed me to doing what, I thought I couldn't do.
Almost like you took it as a challenge.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
Yeah.
Most definitely. Yeah.
Okay. If y'all been watching these episodes, you already know this fear thing is a repeated topic that we keep talking about, and fear and people overcoming fear. Fear holds so many people back from their goals, and what they want to do in life and taking chances. So scared to walk away from the security blanket and take a chance and step out on a limb. When you was making that decision to not only overcome fear but to challenge fear, I'm taking it as a challenge. What were some of the thoughts you were having? What were some of the things you had to overcome? What did you tell yourself?
Well, so it all began this way. I actually was working with family members who actually owned a successful business, had many branches in several cities, as well as states. And I was their HR director. After that, my sister, several years later, my sister opened up a business as well, similar to my other family members. And seeing her having a hard time getting it up and running, I felt compelled to go and help her. I knew a little something. Yeah. So I wanted to instill in her and, see her business grow. So I left that company, which I was really secure in, financially, as well as, knowing that I had a job to go to, to put all that aside and go and help my sister who, wanted to get her business off the ground. And needless to say, as you said, companies do fall within the first year, the year or so. Hers lasted maybe 3 years.
That's they say in the first 3 years is when it's going to fail. It's going to fail.
It lasted 3 years, and I was stuck, basically.
When hers went down?
Yeah, so thankfully I had savings, and I get a little check. I'm a veteran, so I had that cushion, but I knew it wasn't going to carry me for a long while.
Yeah.
So that was another motivating factor. Look, this is what I did. I have this background. I can do this. So that was one of the things that actually pushed me to invest in myself. So when I did that, I couldn't fail. I didn't have anything to fall back on, at that point.
So it was, this has got to work. I'm going to make this work. So you didn't, once that business failed, you didn't jump back into the security blanket land of working for someone else. You said, you know what? I'm just going to do this myself.
I did.
Okay.
I did. I mean, I've was in the business for a while.
Yeah.
Since I was out of the military, they took me in and, groomed me, educated me, gave me that experience and pushed me to actually help somebody else. And when that didn't work out successfully, it motivated me to do my own thing. So
you was in the military. You're a veteran. Thank you for your time and service, first of all.
Enjoyed it. Thank you.
How long was you in the military for?
A little over 11 years.
A little over 11 years. Quite some time.
Yeah, I put in some time.
Yeah. Was you deployed? Did you do any time overseas?
Yes, my first duty station was Shaw Air Force Base in Sumter, South Carolina. Okay. I wanted to be close to home, so that was, a great deal for me. 3 years into my service there, I was picked up for a special duty assignment in Naples, Italy, where I served a little over 7 years there. Loved it. Absolutely.
You served over 7 years in Italy?
7 years in Italy.
Well, that's quite close to home for me since I have an Italian background.
Really? What part of Italy?
Well, my family is there. Obviously, I'm third generation here.
Okay.
7 years, that's a long time to be abroad.
Loved it. And that's where I actually was able to travel. Germany was like a second home for me. I could hop there whenever I had time off and, did things there. Bahrain was my another TDY, which is a temporary duty assignment. Been to Riyadh. I've been basically all over just traveling.
That's amazing. I actually had a conversation with my daughter last night, and she told me that she was thinking about joining the National Guard. And she actually said that she was thinking about joining the infantry. And right now she is in school. She's in her second year at Coastal Carolina. She's studying to be a doctor. They check this out. This is pretty cool. If she decides to go with it, which is kind of up in the air. She's deciding. They said that she will be the first female in the state of South Carolina to be enlisted into the infantry.
I believe it.
Yeah.
I believe it, and that would be awesome.
Yeah.
Groundbreaking.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, hey, that's kudos to her.
Yeah.
Changing some things.
So, 7 years overseas in Italy, and then what exactly was your focus when you was in the military? Like from schooling to your jobs to what they had you doing? And
that was really what actually got me to enlist in the military, was so that my mom and dad didn't have to suffer, putting me through school. So I was actually able to get my degree while in the military, had it paid for. Well,
they paid for it, right?
Well, my bachelor's degree.
Okay.
And it all comes with a lot of education and maturity as well. I just wasn't at that time mature enough to handle the GI Bill, which is a good thing if you use it correctly. Don't misuse it. Everything can be paid for. So I was able to obtain my master's after I got out of the military. But the military was a great thing for me. It instilled in me leadership. It helped me to overcome fear.
Focus, fear, growing up.
My family still says I'm militant, so yeah.
When I was talking to my daughter last night, I told her that I said, I support you no matter what decision you make. I said, I'm not going to be the parent that says, I don't want you to go because you're my baby girl and something could happen to you. And this is why, because I've spent a big chunk of my life regretting that I didn't join the military.
A lot of
I
that.
truly am a different type of person. I'm really an alpha male and a man's man. And I really regret the fact that I didn't join the military, because I think that I would have made an amazing special forces.
I know that.
Yeah,
Yes.
and, it's just the way that I'm built. It's the way that I am. It's who I am as a man. And so that regret, I thought about that last night when I was talking to her, and I was like, listen, I have this regret, and so don't you have that regret?
Yeah.
Whatever decision you make, for or don't, I'm totally with it. I support you 100%.
And that's a good thing, and it's good to have that type of support, especially in our social and climate now with the government. And I still support the military wholeheartedly. It's a family, so regardless of what may be going on the home front, the military is it's another group of people.
Yeah.
You hear some mishaps in the military and things of that nature, but once you actually join that group, I'm telling you, it's a bond like no other. My best friends are from the military.
And they'll help you and take care of you for the rest of your life.
Yes, sir.
As
long as you do your part.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
As long as you go and do your part, the benefits and
are there.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to last your lifetime.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so you was in the Air Force. That's the branch you was in.
Mm-hmm.
So when you finally made the decision to leave the military, what was that decision like, and what brought that decision on?
Well, it was another phase that I was looking forward to. I was battling whether I wanted to make the military a, lifelong commitment. And I thought I had my heels in, to do that. And then my parents, they are older, and they were, getting ill at that time. So it's really difficult for me to get back and forth when those type of issues started arising. So I was actually offered a position with McNeil Technologies, which is a government contracting agency,
Gotcha.
While in the military. So I jumped on it. I was hired on the spot. And that was
private contracting.
That was the end of the military. That part of the military.
Gotcha.
Career.
Gotcha. So how long was the break between you left the military and you went for the private industry before you decided to make the jump to this?
After the contract was over, with McNeil Technologies, that's when I was picked up with my family's business as their HR director, and that's when it stemmed over to following my sister, and then that was no more, and then this is where I ended up.
I didn't mean to tell the whole audience your age, but I'm sure as these years are breaking down, it's starting to come out. She's like, hold up, all right, 11 and 30.
I am a mature woman.
So let's get back a little bit to this business. So we touched on it a little bit earlier when we was walking through, but then you said something to me also. You said that you also do private work too.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So
we do private duty, and that's just for any individual who actually needs, assistance within the home, whether it be light housekeeping, light meal preparations, personal hygiene. That entails, bathing, washing or doing the hair and things of that nature. So yes, we do that as well as also I'm a veteran, so we will be looking into getting veteran services as well. Yeah.
That's great. So I was thinking during the drive here today, I'm always thinking, I'm always researching, I'm always studying, like trying to do interviews, I'm bringing up facts and stuff. I did an interview with a really nice lady, Rhonda, that owns two companies, Remu and Pod Blast Charlotte, and I brought something to her attention that she didn't even realize. I say United States of America, listed by the Census Bureau, there is 19,534 cities in the United States of America. Out of those almost 20,000 cities, Charlotte is ranked the 17th best for women entrepreneurs in the country and 5th best for black women entrepreneurs. She was a little shocked. She didn't know that when I told her that. Something I thought about and wanted to touch on today with you in your interview is this part right here is a little personal. It means a lot to me. So a lot of us, we have family members. They get older. We have these busy lives now. We're always busy all the time, and we're aggravated. We don't want to go help our mom wash or help our dad go to the store or do stuff around the house for him. We feel like we got so much going on. We don't. It's not our responsibility. It's not our job to help them. But let me tell you something, man. When you was a kid, how many times do you think your parents wanted to do something else, but they had to take care of you?
Absolutely.
They sacrificed for you. They did stuff for you. Their nights out, they're having fun, their romantic life, and all that. And all the times they sacrificed for you, all the way down to the financial consequences. If your life really is that busy, if you have that much going on, the least that you could do is hire a professional to come out and make sure your people, your family is okay and being taken care of properly. I can't emphasize that enough. You wouldn't be here without your parents.
Indeed.
And if you're a mother or a father, I'm sure you make sacrifices for your kids. So you know what that's like. So you know what your parents did for you. Take that time and invest in your parents a little bit. I'm not saying you have to take care of them 100%, but make sure they're okay. And if you can't get out there, make sure you have a professional gets out there. Make sure they're okay. Take care of the elders. Don't forget about the elders. Make sure you take care of them.
I couldn't have said that any better.
So, what advice would you give to family members that have a sick, an elderly, a veteran, someone that's living by themselves, someone that needs checked on, someone that needs some help, some assistance? What advice would you give to those people out there, how they could get in touch with you or anyone just to make sure these people have the proper care they should be getting?
I am a living true testament when, taking care of your parents, elderly parents. It can be a rewarding as well as challenging thing. I get it. Caregivers have a rough job. It's not easy by any means. Mm-hmm. And it doesn't even matter if it's that loved one. It's very hard. So what I would say is to make sure that, one, you take care of yourself. Two, don't be afraid to ask for help. That's what we, love to do. I hire the best. I make sure that, we take care of our people by making sure whom we hire are, one, credential, that they are checked background, their criminally background, professionally backgrounds are checked, and just making sure that they have the temperament as well as, that care, that love for their job, because it makes a difference. It makes a huge difference. It makes a difference. So we here at Forever Young Care Services want to make sure that we provide excellent service. We know that it's hard, we know that it's difficult, and we know that you all need the break. Family members need that break. They need the time to recoup, to breathe, so that they can come back renewed and be able to take care of their loved ones the best that they can.
Absolutely. So. And not only because of people close to me that are in this field, that's how I found out about you, but all the good things I was hearing about you, I was like, well, I have to meet her and I have to do an interview with her. Then I did some research. I pulled you up and did a Google search and everything, was like checking out the reviews and the stars and everything, and you're pretty high up there, girl.
I appreciate that.
You got a really good reputation.
I appreciate that. And you know what? The thing of it is, and I'm not saying this to boast or brag, but most of my employees that started out with me in 2010 are still here.
That's great.
They are still here. So, and I know this because of the business that I was in. I've been in this business on the mental health side as well as the behavior, healthcare side. I know the difficulties of this business, and I know, working with outside agencies can be very hard just by keeping up with regulations and policies and things of that nature. So, when you have an open door policy that allows your employees to come in and address concerns and that their suggestions are noted, it makes a difference.
Because Because if someone's going into the home and they're dealing with this particular person and they come back and give you feedback like, hey, I think this needs to be done, that needs to be done. The fact that you're open and willing to listen, like, okay, you're the person that's there, you're the person that's doing it, and you see that, okay, I take your...
Exactly,
yeah.
Mr. Larry. Those are our eyes and ears. Some of them don't have family members to actually go in and do those type of things for them. So it is very imperative that we actually listen to our aides and, our CNAs that are actually there with them, taking on their concerns. That can weigh heavy on anybody. You don't have to just be family members, So to make sure that we address their needs and their concerns, to make sure that they are working in a healthy environment as well, to provide an excellent service, is very key and vital to our success.
That's awesome. That's great that y'all do that, and that's probably why your ratings are so high, because y'all care about the people and not just the bottom dollar.
You have to. If we didn't, we wouldn't be who we are.
Exactly.
We wouldn't exist, probably.
Yeah, you'd probably be one of those businesses that failed in the first 3 years.
Right.
So on a personal note, where do you see yourself in 5 years from now? Where do you see all of this?
Wow. You know what? I was actually thinking about that the other night, and I truly feel, as much as this is my baby, but as much as I love doing what I do, because I feel like I'm giving others the opportunity to be a blessing to others.
Yes.
So I want this to be the next stepping stone to the passion that I really have. I love serving people, point blank and period. But my passion is decorating.
Yeah.
Totally the opposite. From one realm to the other. So I'm actually...
So to see this business keep thriving, but also use it as a springboard to maybe start a decorating business.
Exactly.
That's vision.
This might be my financial, outlet in order to go to the next step by,
But that's vision.
Creating.
You everything starts with a thought and an idea. And sometimes when we have these thoughts and these ideas, I bet if you told someone right now, I want to open up a decorating business, their response to you is, what? You're a military girl. You're a home service girl. This is what you made your bread and butter on. This is what you've been doing. What are you talking about decorating? But you know what? Never, ever, ever listen to those people. Use it as fuel and motivation.
Right.
Because every time someone like us, when I tell someone I'm going to create a show, like, what? You own a fitness company. What do you know about creating a TV show? I know exactly what I know right here.
Right.
And I've got a vision, and I've got an idea, and I'm going to make it happen. You have a vision, an idea. I asked you where you want to be in 5 years, and you knew.
Yeah.
I love it.
But those that are close to me, and I don't know, I do that on the side, actually. I do events, so I actually coordinate and design event spaces, so it's always been a niche within me, always, even from growing up, I've always wanted to decorate my room.
Yeah.
I was always changing, my parents' home and stuff around and things of that nature.
Yeah.
So it's always been in me.
And if it's your passion and you're doing it, it's not even work, is it?
Right. It's not.
It's not even work.
It's my calm space.
Yeah.
It actually is. I'm just what they call it zen when I'm decorating.
So, as a black woman in this field, what were the hurdles and obstacles that you faced in the past and even now that you've had to overcome to be successful in this industry?
I think the biggest obstacle was actually overcoming the fear of actually just doing it by myself.
Okay.
And once I got over that and started, dabbling in it and seeing my dreams, my wants, my desires to fruition, it was cool then. It was a springboard for me. But I don't know. I just, want to make sure that whatever I do, when I do it, is appropriate and it's for right now.
You're a military girl, and one thing military does is military takes like color, religion, race, where you're from, all that stuff off the table, and it puts everybody together like this. So as a military person, I was able to immediately pick up from you that that's the type of personality that you have. My friends and people close to me tell me that I'm one of the most open-minded and laid back and most understanding people that they've ever come across. I don't see any of those things neither, and I don't believe in it, and I don't believe that anybody should. But I also understand that not everyone thinks like me, not everyone thinks like you. So when you faced adversity, maybe because you're a woman or because you're black, how did you deal with that, and how did you overcome that and get around that?
I can honestly say, well, going back to the military, with that question, I can honestly say that I wasn't blatantly hit with those type of discriminatory issues.
I'm talking about in the healthcare field, since you tried to do this on your own. Have you ever had any doors shut because of it? Have you had any opportunities taken from you? Did you deal with any adversity trying to do this?
Based on my race and gender, I don't think so.
Okay.
Now, however, the
That's
challenges,
amazing.
right?
That's amazing.
Right, at least to my face.
Okay.
Let me say it that way, which is a great thing. But the challenges that I have had has been from others who have gotten into this, business, whether it be man or female, black, white, or whatever, not doing the right thing. So when you don't do the right thing in this business, which is governed by state, it hurts everybody else who's actually doing it as well.
Gives everybody a black eye, doesn't it?
It gives everyone a black eye.
Yeah.
So those have been the challenges that, people like myself that are wanting to do this thing honestly.
Yeah.
This is actually the way I feed my family. You know what I'm saying? So this is something that I don't play with. So when someone else take it for granted, it hurts all of us. It hurts all of us. So that has basically been one of the challenges, if any, that we face.
So, to our viewers that are watching, what advice would you give to those out there that are wanting to take the leap and open their own business, go their own way? What advice would you give them to overcome that?
Don't allow you to be your biggest downfall. If you have a dream, pursue it. You can do it. First of all, if it was planted in your mind, it's there for a reason. Pursue it with all a vengeance. And I just believe that once something is within you, if it keeps, recurring within your mind, or when you sleep, you're still thinking about that same thing, you have to do it. It's not going to let go of you until you actually implement it. So just do it. I get all of the naysayers. I've been there. I've heard that, what you're doing this for, or, everybody's getting in it now, it's not going to last. I've heard it all. But when you have something within you telling you, you can do this, or even if you don't hear that voice and you know that this is something that you want to do it. And do it with the best intentions, and I promise you it will succeed.
That was some amazing advice you just gave you. Listen, do not let your own self get in the way. You must tune out that I can't and replace it with I can.
Yes.
And something else very crucial she just said, don't let other people tell you what you can't do.
Oh my goodness.
You can do anything. It doesn't matter what other people say you can or can't do. I don't care how successful or unsuccessful that person is talking to you.
Right.
They're living their life. You have to live your life.
Well said.
You do what is best for you and your life. You listen, but let them live their life.
Great. I love it.
Man, today has been a great interview. We got all kinds of knowledge, and I appreciate you taking the time to let us come out here and interview you.
Likewise, appreciate you.
And answer these questions. One last thing I would like for you to give our audience is, how could they get in touch with you if they'd like to hire you? Like, how can they find you on social media? How can they contact you by phone, by website? Give everyone the information they need to find you.
Well, we are Forever Young Care Services. You can reach us at 704-869-9790. You can also contact us via our website, which is cjrs.org. Feel free to give us a call with any information that you may have, and we'll be glad to take care of you.
What about like Instagram and Facebook? Is there any handles that they might want to check out?
Not yet. We actually are redeveloping our website with a new handle and everything that has not yet been created, but we will be working on that. So the best way to contact us now is either through the current website or our number, 704-869-9790.
Man, I suggest that if you have anyone that needs looked after, checked on, taken care of, you reach out to this lady and this company. They do amazing work, and they will really take care of your people and your family and make sure that they're good to go. It's a family type atmosphere, so it's almost like an extension of the family being there.
Indeed.
Absolutely. I thank you once again for having us.
Thank you so much, Mr. Larry.
Absolutely. This was another episode of Secret Sauce to be the Boss, and today y'all got a lot of awesome secret sauce. All right, until next time, guys, we're out.
It's the North Cat, baby, I'm a boss. Carolina barbecue sauce with the slaw. I'm the safe, the cellar, and the vault. I'm the best, the effect, and the cause. I'm the law. It's the North Cat, baby, I'm a boss. Carolina barbecue sauce with the slaw. I'm the safe, the cellar, and the vault. I'm the best, the effect, and the cause. I'm the law.